Good morning, first graders. Today I'm going to be teaching you about different types of sentences and how we can change those sentences by the punctuation we use. Now, in case we forgot what punctuation is, that just means periods, exclamation marks, and question marks. Because when you use a question mark, you're asking a what? A question. And when you have an exclamation mark, it means you're adding excitement or surprise. And when you have a period, you're just talking in a normal voice and you're either making a statement about something or maybe describing something to somebody or just talking in normal conversation. All right, so today we're going to be doing practice page 207 and practice page 208 in our skills practice book. So go ahead and get that now and get a pen or a pencil. All right, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. All right, so it says types of sentences. Now, before we do that, we have to remember to write our name and the date. Today is April 30th, 4-30-20, because it's 2020, and can't forget to write our name. All right, so types of sentences. It says focus, telling sentences, tell a thought and end with a period. So that means telling someone what's inside your brain in a complete sentence and end it with a period. So you could say, my marker is blue. I'm not excited about it. I'm not asking a question. It's just stating a fact that this marker is blue. All right, asking sentences. Ask a question and end with the question mark. So a question could be, what are we learning today, Miss Sherbel? Or you could maybe ask your parents, what are we having for breakfast? Or ask your grandma, your grandpa, what are we having for lunch today? So asking questions, it also, if you notice that you start questions with specific words like can or who, what, where, when, why, and how. So sometimes when certain words that you start with in a sentence, that makes it a question, like who. Who are we going to see today? That is asking a question about who you're going to see. So definitely that's a good strategy to look at certain words and help you, sorry, but it helps you kind of see what's going on, whether or not it's a question or a statement. All right, so it says practice. Draw a line under the telling sentences. Circle the asking sentences. So we're going to underline the ones where it's just a normal sentence, a normal thought with a period. And then you're going to circle the asking sentences, the ones that are asking a question. All right. Let me see if I can move this down a little bit or maybe zoom it out. No, I guess not. That's weird. Usually it scrolls down. Okay. I might have to show you on my skills practice book because it doesn't seem to be scrolling down right now. All right. Which one can we go on first? Well, I see the word which is also a question word. It's our WH question words. And I notice that there is a question mark here. So are we going to underline it or circle it? We're going to circle it, right? Because there's a question mark and a question word, which means it's an asking sentence. All right, number 2, I want to ride on the brown horse. Well, it's not asking a question. It's not talking about can we ride on the brown horse. It's just telling you, I want to do that. So it's not asking a question. It's a telling sentence. So you are going to underline it. All right, question 3. Do you think Bill can hit the target? All right, well, I see our question word do, which actually is like sometimes it's a verb, right? Because to do something. But in this case, when it starts a sentence like this, and then you see a question mark at the end, this is an asking sentence. So we are going to circle it because you see the question mark. All right, as I said, I can't really scroll it down. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Now it works. Perfect. All right. Question 4, I had a fun day at the park. Well, you're not asking a question about the park. You're telling someone about it. So is it a telling sentence or an asking sentence? It's a telling sentence. So you are going to draw a line under the telling sentence. All right, number 5. It was really cold. Well, you're not asking a question about the cold, right? So you are going to underline it because it's a telling sentence. All right. Let's go to page 208. Now, before we start this one, there in the little box up there, it says strong feeling sentences show surprise or excitement and end with an exclamation point. Imperative sentences give a command and can end with a period or exclamation point. So they both can end with an exclamation point, but the difference is that imperative sentences are like a command or what you want someone to do. Like if we have the two words jumping and bed, a verb and a noun. Make sure you guys can see this. Sorry, I don't know why this keeps coming up. Maybe make myself a little bit bigger. That would make me feel better about it. There we go. All right. So if you have jumping and bed and you're talking about, and you're trying to do a strong feeling sentence, how could you get excited about these two words, jumping and bed? Well, whenever I think about jumping on a bed, I could say, I love jumping on my bed. So if we have these two words, jumping and bed, you could say, I love jumping on my bed, because you're excited about it and you're adding a what? An exclamation mark, right? All right. But what if we have an imperative sentence using these two words, jumping and bed? Well, if you're asking someone to stop, that you're commanding them, you're demanding it, that it's a rule or a reminder, you could say, do not jump on your bed. And this one can end with a period or an exclamation mark. So you could say, do not jump on your bed, because you are commanding it. You are making a rule. So when you have a strong feeling sentence, you end with exclamation mark because you're excited, you're surprised. Maybe you could even be angry. That's definitely a possibility. But when you have imperative sentences, it means that you're trying to get them to do something that you want them to do. Okay? So I'm going to erase this because we're going to need this for our sentences. All right. All right, let me make myself a little bit smaller. All right, so it says practice. Write 2 strong feeling sentences about the picture. Well, if we look at the picture, I see a little boy and a little girl. It looks like they're waving at each other, so it looks like they might know each other. I see one big dog, and it looks like that big dog is kind of looking at what though? At a tiny dog. Does the tiny dog look like it's up on top of that big dog looking at him excited? No, he kind of looks like he's backing away a little bit, right? So, so it says 2 strong feeling sentences about the picture. That's the first activity we're going to do. So, what could these 2 people be talking about? Well, it looks like they're saying hi to each other. So I was thinking that for the first one, so this would go in your first line, and try to fit it all in that first line. If not, that's okay. You just might need to write a little bit smaller. All right. So I was thinking you could say, hi. Nice to see you. Now remember, this is a comma. This is kind of like a little half breath, like, hi, nice to see you. And I put an exclamation mark because they're excited about it. They're excited to see each other. Right? So I'm going to hold this up for a second. Okay. Now the second one, I noticed that the boy's dog is much bigger than the girl's dog. So I was thinking that we could say something about that. Maybe the girl could say, "Wow, your dog is big," right? Let me make that D a little bit better. There we go. Wow, your dog is big. Now, if you can think of your own sentences about this picture, that would be amazing. Remember, these are only the ones that I'm doing. But if you look, you could try and replace this word big with a different synonym. What are synonyms for big? Giant, huge, enormous. You could replace this with a synonym, words that mean kind of the same thing. That would be a cool activity to do at home too. All right. Very good. And now let's move down. Oh, it's doing it again. All right. It doesn't seem to be scrolling down again. I don't know why it's doing that. But it says write 2 command sentences about the picture. Now remember, commands are imperative sentences. It means it wants you to do something. Someone wants you to do something. So as we talked about jumping on the bed, do not jump on your bed. That is a command. You're stating something that you want someone to do. You might hear Mrs. Cheslock and I say, sit down. Or maybe if we're getting a little bit too loud, we'll do our fins up, or we'll say, give me 5. Or maybe I'll do my mac and cheese, everybody freeze. And then I tell you a command, quiet down or lower your voice, right? Those are imperative sentences. Those are telling someone what they want you to do. All right. So I know we can't scroll down. I'm not sure why. But it says write 2 command sentences about the picture right there. So you're going to put your sentences right below that. All right. Number 1. Now, it looks like that little girl's dog looks kind of scared, right? So you could say something like, watch out. Now, why do you think I think that the little girl might say that? Watch out. An imperative sentence like that. Maybe the little dog's feeling afraid and the big dog looks like he's gonna, trample him or accidentally hurt him. So maybe the little girl is telling that little boy, watch out, watch out for your dog. Because she wouldn't want her dog to get hit, right? Or hurt. All right, watch out. The second one, maybe she could be saying, move your dog, please. Because you would not want that big dog in the way of your little dog, because that might not end well. So move your dog, please. Now I added a please at the end because even though it's a command and you want someone to do something, it doesn't mean that you don't add some manners, right? So move your dog, please. Because it's still a command. You still want someone to do something. So remember, you don't have to do the same sentences as me. You could do your own. Whatever you can think of about the picture. Maybe something about, who they are and their reaction to each other. Because it seems like they know each other. Or maybe the sizes of the dogs. Or maybe what kind of day it is outside. Be creative. It's okay if you need to use one of my sentences. Because I know that sometimes it's tricky to think of ideas. But try and think of one on your OWN own. Right? Okay, guys. I hope you have a good day and miss you. Bye.